Oh shoot, it's playing over. Oh crap, hold on, let me go to my thing here. Let's go ahead and do the intro. Well, hello, everybody. Nothing's done to my face. Makeup's not on. Hair's not even really put up in this clip very well. My mother called me already today and wanted to stress me out. I'm just like, Mom, I'm already stressed. already have so much in my mind you're going to add to it. And I hate it. And I don't like to be mean to her. She's 71 years old. And I'm like, okay, this is my mom I'm talking to. I gotta watch my tone. I told her I'd call her back later. And then I just texted her and told her I loved her. Hello, everybody. Hello, my girls. What is everybody doing? Welcome. Okay, so I have this little black dress on. And I know it's freezing out in Ohio, so I'm not going outside, but I have a dress on, and it's black. You know how every girl has that lovely black dress? I got this from Temu. My mom got it for me for my birthday. And it's like, it's really cute. It's got the, it's not too short. Here, I'll show you guys. Hold on. Temu actually does have some really cute, some of my dresses, excuse me, are from Temu, Walmart, Dollar General, you know, the usual. But let me put my shawl on so I can show you guys this outfit that I chose, even though it's freezing outside. Why I chose to wear a dress. Good thing I'm not going outside. Maybe on the porch to, oh my gosh, I got more laundry to do. Jesus almighty. Okay. My office / makeup room is a fucking mess. I need to vacuum. I got my phone charging. This chair always gets stuck. Okay. Now, maybe I don't like this cardigan. See, I don't like a lot of dresses that hug because, you know, I do have a tummy. And I try to keep my tummy. You really can't see this dress, but it has like this wrap that comes around the dress. So like you can untie this. Let me take this thing off. This thing doesn't do this dress justice. I don't do this dress justice. Okay, so can you guys see this? Like it ties here. Scoop's outside barking like normal. It's a cute little black dress. I hate my shoulders. I do. I hate my arms. Anywho, there's your fabulous view of what I'm wearing today. But it's so comfy, though it is. It's super comfy. It fits better than when my mom bought it for me. And when my first mom bought it for me, it was kind of snug, so I lost a little bit of weight. that helps her a lot. I love bath salts. Yes, bath salts are so good. I am giving my granddaughter her super cute, super cute. I started working out and going. Yes, okay, so that's I do. I want to start working out again. There's insurance. Okay, so we have a back when in my hometown I used to go to everything fitness, and I loved that gym. Now where I live at now, they have everything fitness, but it's out in Perrysburg. We have a not Planet. They have everything fits or something like that in Perrysburg. Anytime fitness. We have a Planet one out here where I live. I could call them because the type of insurance I have, they cover gym memberships. So I need to definitely. Ooh, at Spitfire, I love Epsom salt baths. They work so good for my back. Other than well, shoot. Can your little girl hear this? You got headphones in, Spitfire? Because I don't want no little kids seeing what we're about to show. It's some horrible stuff. This is Ash. Okay, so we have two main topics. Actually, three, because I found one. I was been up since today. I overslept. I didn't wake up till almost 11-ish. I don't usually sleep in that long. I usually never know. I got my body trained to be somewhat up at 8:30, 9:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. Today, my butt did not wake up till 11. I was like, and I woke up hot, sweating. My body was, I hate sweating. And my husband had the heat on. And I was like, man, he had it blasting because I woke up to it with my asthma and COPD. I must have been having one of my fits and it woke me up. Thank God, because 11 o'clock is too long to be sleeping in anymore. I need to get my butt to the mall. I need to get my ring. My 6-month ring checkup is ready to have my ring turned into K's. But I didn't wake up till 11. I was like, holy shit, I overslept. So while I was researching over Ash's case that she had asked me to go over, I found a devastating another case with a 5-year-old little girl out of Indiana. That one, I just got it to Court TV. I just seen it through Court TV. It's a 5-year-old little girl. She was in a good home and was taken out of the home and given back to the parents several times. Now, this happened in Indiana. I just got wind of this case this morning or this afternoon. I have the Florida carjacking case we're going to go over first. But the 5-year-old case, little girl who was pretty much unalived. She was starved to death. Chunks of hair missing out of her hair. And the system kept taking this little girl out of the home that she was previously in. We're going to show the clip. I'm going to roll it. I went back to one of the videos, and it's, the one with Brian Enton speaking, that video. It was showing, you guys I just need to make sure you guys can see it too, because when I don't do the video, if I don't share it thingy majiggy, it doesn't show you guys the video. You guys just see, you love Brian. I love Brian Enton. He is the best reporter out there. Besides, I do like WFLA too. I love JB and his buddy on the news, WFLA. Now, those guys take their job serious. They don't ever speculate. I don't think they ever really speculate. JB does not like to speculate whatsoever. I'm pretty sure JB doesn't speculate. Josh, that it is. Yes. I love I do like Banfield, but there's a few things that I don't like about her. I think she's done some crappy things in her life, but who hasn't done crappy things to get it, to get up in the head of the game. Um all right, so when I go to it, let me know if you guys can see the video because the one that I did with Brian Enton, the one where he's in the darkness, it doesn't show up. It just shows you guys a black screen. I mean, you could hear everything. You could hear the article, but you guys didn't see anything. No, I'm helping my daughter at a hotel. Okay. You know what I think Spitfire? I think Spitfire is an agent. She's so secret. I'm not supposed to be working anymore at all. Really? But you're my secret agent. I see you being a secret agent. You got big jobs on your hand there. Oh my god, there's so much shit in the streets right now too. Like sometimes YouTube, you just gotta unsubscribe from certain people and just say, you know what, you're done. Or sometimes you even gotta tune out because it's ridiculous. Every day, somebody's fighting with somebody, or you got some dirtbag out here. Thank God that Morris guy is no longer around. You guys remember him, that Morris guy? I know we've talked about him before, but all right. Let's get into some heavy shit. Be prepared. Be prepared, okay? Because this is. Let me tell you what. Never in my life. The browser you access trying to capturing different screen. This continues. Okay. Well, let's see. Well, let's try this again. Share screen. There we go. Thank you. So, oh gosh. I think I like it the other way though. Oh no.
Want an engagement ring that doesn't look like every other girl and to get way more ring for the same budget? Era Gem is one of the industry's best kept secrets, with access to the largest online collection of fine antique, vintage, and estate jewelry in the US. Shop by era, designers, and stone, like the increasingly popular lab-grown diamonds set in vintage mountings. The only regret for finding a ring on Era Gem is the non-stop compliments.
When you look at this thing, I mean, this is right out of a television show, right? You see these things. There's a lot of bizarre circumstances here.
Florida authorities make a gruesome discovery as they find a body in a burning car.
We got
now
two clips
investigators
of this,
believe
guys.
it's the body of a woman who was carjacked in broad daylight. Last week, Catherine Altagracia Guerrero de Aguas Visas was driving her car when she stopped at a red light in Seminole County, Florida.
Shout out to Ash for this story, you guys. She's another good secret agent of mine.
The terrifying carjacking was captured on cell phone footage from a witness in the vehicle.
How skinny that guy is.
According to Seminole County Sheriff,
nobody stopped during
the gunman exited the green Acura, which was directly behind the victim's vehicle. The gunman was wearing a black hoodie, a ski-type mask, and carrying what appeared to be an automatic handgun consistent with a 10 millimeter.
Points directly at the driver, Catherine, tells her, we suspect, to unlock the door, which she does. He jumps in the rear passenger seat behind the driver.
How to
and
pause
she
this thing? I
immediately
don't know.
makes a U-turn.
When the light turned green, Catherine made a U-turn. The green Acura followed
Dang it,
behind.
Spitfire's
Probably
coming.
heading, speculation here, but probably heading in a direction where the
There it
suspect
goes. Okay.
does not want
Now.
them to go. And we suspect that he orders her to turn around again and reapproach the intersection of East Lake and Tuscola Road.
Well, how do you pause it?
At that intersection, they turn south and they're heading
Guess I'll just
southbound.
talk over it.
Nearly
Certainly.
rush hour traffic here. Southbound on Tuscola Road towards the Seminole Orange County line, all the way down to Aloma. When they get to Aloma, they make a left. They go all the way across all lanes of traffic so they can get on 417 southbound. At this time, we suspect that Catherine is still driving under the armed dictatorship of the suspect. Here's where you're going to go. Here's where you're going to drive.
This is so
The sheriff
sad.
said Catherine then
Look at-
started
oh my
driving toward a new
gosh.
construction area where they believed the suspects were familiar with. Nearly 2 hours after the carjacking was captured on video, deputies were called to that exact area, tragically, for a horrific
Spitfire is a
update.
very
That
strong
was
woman. That
set
girl
off in a little
is
bit of a distance, but not so far away
Spitfire. You have
that
so much,
eyewitnesses
you
could not
know.
report hearing gunshots. And ultimately, the
You're an
smoke
amazing,
of a
amazing
fire that was
person.
set
I'm so
ablaze.
glad I've met you. And I'm
vehicle
so
that was
glad
set
you
ablaze.
have so many people. You are
By
very
the time
loved.
authorities
Just know you are very
with the
loved.
Osceola County Sheriff's
You
Office
got lots of
arrived
friends.
there,
If you ever need
there was so much
anything,
damage to
come
the
to any
vehicle,
one of us.
you could not
Even,
positively identify
our
the
girl
vehicle.
Emmy.
But they also discovered that one person was deceased
I hope she's
and
doing
found
well.
in that vehicle. Now, it's important part here because we believe that to be the vehicle and the decedent to be Catherine, but we have to positively confirm that through the scientific method of DNA examinations and dental
So
records.
since they burnt the
But
car,
from all accounts of looking at the scene, it looks like the vehicle and is consistent to everything that
since
we've
they
seen
burnt the
so far.
car,
Authorities say a dozen shell casings were found at the scene from 10-millimeter rounds. Prior to the carjacking, Catherine called her husband to tell him that someone rammed into the back of her car and was following her.
About a half a mile or so prior to that intersection, she started to notice that the green Acura was behind her, and the Acura was actually ramming into her back bumper at that time. At that time, she picked up the phone and called her husband, told her husband that she was being rammed, that there was somebody there that was following her. The husband provided the advice to don't stop anywhere. There are no known reports.
I think this girl
to the
was
sheriff's
followed,
office or policing authorities
and
made by either
it's
Catherine
just
or the husband that we're aware of.
And the sheriff said the suspect knew exactly who they were
Mhm.
following and what they were doing.
We are, again, still putting together to try to explain a motive. There's no criminal history here for either Catherine or her husband in the United
Yep.
States. There's no clear indicator why somebody would do this. Why would they target them? But
Now,
we do feel and
stuff
believe
does
because
come out that the
she was
story
being
gets
followed.
crazy. There's other
They
people
were watching
involved.
that.
There's drugs
She
involved.
called
There's
her
cocaine
husband.
or
Husband said,
fentanyl
"Don't leave the
involved.
car." No reports to law enforcement that this was not a random act of violence.
And the
that
next
the
clip I show, I
perpetrators
think,
knew
I think
exactly
the guy,
who they
this
were going
guy tells
after.
it.
Why they're going after them is something that is a part of our ongoing, continuing investigation at this time.
Many questions remain a mystery, but here's what else we know. Investigators believe Catherine, who lives in South Florida, traveled to Central Florida shortly after noon last Thursday and arrived in Seminole County a few hours later.
We know at around 2 o'clock, the vehicle was seen traveling northbound in Jupiter, and she came into Seminole County through downtown Orlando in I-4. 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon is when she is arriving here. She stops at a Seminole County gas station. It was a Shell gas station located just south of 436 and 1792.
There's that white
She
car.
goes in there, pumps gas, stays there for approximately 8 minutes. She travels from that location heading northbound on 1792 into Seminole County, and then ultimately gets into Castleberry and turns down Button Road and weaves through the back streets on East Lake through Winter Springs. About a half a mile before the intersection of East Lake Drive and Tuscaloosa Road. And that's the location of the intersection that the video was released on.
I
And while
can't
Catherine
pause
called
it
her
either.
husband to
So
tell
it's
him she was
like,
being followed, she did not call 911 before she was kidnapped.
Anytime something like this happens, we always encourage 911 is like an absolute. You want authorities, you want somebody
Yes.
there. But I can't explain why this would occur a half a mile before the intersection, that she would call her husband. Her husband would say, don't stop. I can see somebody saying, don't stop.
But this is,
But
we have
to
another
not
clip
call
to watch.
911,
I'm going to pull up the article
it
because it
is
has a
something
video
that,
attached to the article
that
where
again,
it
I don't
says
know the
something
answer to
about
that. Sure.
her
If it was
brother,
me, I'm going to call 911, or I'm
her
going to encourage my
husband.
family and
We're
friends to
all
call
working
911.
with
That did not
with
happen.
private eyes, I
At
think.
the time, investigators were on the search for the green
It
Acura
might
the
tell it
attackers
here.
used during Catherine's carjacking. But in another twist, investigators
comes.
now say they found the car and believe it's connected to another murder of a Florida tow truck driver.
Oh my God, can
The
you
first
believe
is
that?
we're no longer looking for a green 2002 Acura. We've located that vehicle. The circumstances leading up to that are one that I'll describe out now, that the car was legitimately owned by a family in Winter Springs. They sold that to a legitimate car dealership back in December. Sold the car or traded the car in. As car dealerships typically do, they traded off to an auto auction. It went to an auto auction and then ultimately was purchased by a buy here, pay here owner operator who sold it from their lot in Seminole County. They sold it. It was still titled to the original owners in Winter Springs. It had not had enough time to work out the transfer of title. And the people who purchased the car never came back to finish the additional paperwork.
Wow.
They still owed the person money. So the car has been out on the streets probably since February, unregistered, undocumented with a license plate. Any license plate that it had on at any given time was just temporarily put on, largely from a stolen tag. What's unique about a 2002 green Acura in the state of Florida, there were only 3 in the state of Florida. Yep. 2 had been salvaged and only 1 existed.
That's that one.
In the state.
So they got that. So
when we look at records,
100%.
The first time
they know that's
authorities
the
came in contact
card,
with this
guys.
was when it was towed on March 19th from an Orlando apartment complex. The car was backed in, parked illegally, probably had no tag on it.
And this is all on footage.
And was towed from an Orange County apartment complex on March 19th.
None of these people that filmed it
The tow truck driver of that particular tow of this vehicle was a murder victim in Orange County that happened 1 day before our kidnapping murder.
Witness the lies.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
The cover.
God, that face made me sick.
The moments they confessed.
I grabbed one of the kitchen knives. I killed it.
Outrageous police interrogations.
I know, I forgot the head. I want the head.
You have to.
Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Okay, hold on. Is there more to this article?
To see to believe.
Oh my God.
Wow. Hold on, guys. I'm coming back to you. There was more. Hi, Max. What case are you following and what did you discover? Okay, Max. So we have a lot. We're actually watching a video. Oh, shoot. I can't talk. We're watching a video right now of them describing what was going on. This is about a carjacking in Florida. They do have 2 suspects. They do also reveal in one of the clips that the husband and her brother both turned over their cell phones. They've also been digging and helping the cops find one of the persons of interest. We're about to find out. Let's go back to this clip. I thought it was over with, and I didn't realize that there was more. So let me go back. The tow truck driver. This is the tow truck driver, guys.
Green vehicle matching the description of this green vehicle was located, and there was more than 100 rounds fired at that location. One of the rounds found at the scene were 10 millimeter rounds.
Wow.
Which is, again, an incredibly unique and uncommon round for us to see out on the streets.
Sheriff Lema said Garcia's death is still under investigation, but says he absolutely believes Garcia and Catherine's deaths are connected.
I absolutely think they're connected, but we'll have to have physical evidence that absolutely proves that.
This guy wants to prove everything, y'all. He.
For clarity, that car wasn't on the scene and tapped last Wednesday. That car was towed 2 or 3 weeks before then, right?
And then released. Mm-hmm. So what we have, and I don't want to get too far into the Orange County investigation.
Oh, Scuba!
Hand in glove with our detectives here. But a green vehicle was seen at that location. It seems like
guys.
It was towed back in March, ultimately released on the scene of this particular crime. So we think the green vehicle was there at the murder scene.
But the case took yet another turn. An Orange County deputy was arrested on Sunday. He's now charged with 5 felonies after being accused of leaking details about the investigation to Catherine's husband. Deputy Francisco Estrella is accused of not only leaking.
Sorry, guys. Scooby's going nuts because the hubby went outside.
Home address.
Talk to his friend.
We know that, or we believe that they were childhood friends. Of course, there was a relationship with there, but what they had to gain is something that I'm incredibly interested in. Why would somebody do this? Why would they put their own job and life on the line to communicate with one of our detectives, to give an alias in the process? Now he's been an Orange County deputy for 1 year, but to give an alias in the process, never knowing that Miguel, the decedent's husband, is going to release his phone. That would, if he didn't release the phone, I don't know we would ever know this. So this is it's incredibly frightening, and but I suspect we'll find a lot more about this as the investigation goes on.
Deputy Estrella was placed on leave without pay pending an investigation, but his arrest added another layer of mystery to the case.
If any of this is true, he's not getting the job back. He's going to lose his ticket, meaning he won't be a law enforcement officer ever again in any jurisdiction. So I got to believe
that whole part about the law enforcement.
It wasn't worth it to do this.
I spoke with Palm Beach County State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg. His office has no affiliation with the case, but he says the sight of the deputy in a jumpsuit and steel bracelets is shocking.
You have to know doing this is illegal. You have to know that by getting involved in a murder investigation and trying to impede justice, that you're going to get in trouble. It's like, why throw away everything for this? It's so bizarre. I can't answer it. I have no idea why a trained law enforcement officer would get involved in a murder investigation where the guy who could be the main suspect is asking for help to identify personal information, including the home address of the detective who is investigating his wife's murder. Doesn't make any sense to me, and hopefully things will come into focus sometime soon.
While the sheriff mentioned Catherine's husband has been cooperative and not a person of interest, the sheriff believes her husband has been entirely truthful. As many questions still linger, one of the biggest remaining questions, why was Catherine even in Seminole County?
Well, we have no idea why she's here. We know that she was here for less than an hour. We have no evidence of her ever being in Seminole County ever before. We believe that she was absolutely targeted and followed to a certain extent, to a certain point.
That's important, but I do have my
associate's
degree, just like
for us to
this
get out on Friday
girl
was,
here.
this was not a random act of violence.
Associate's degree in
that
criminal
she
justice.
Absolutely was targeted. Why she was targeted, I think, is something that our detectives are working aggressively to be able to answer
yes,
that
it was
question.
very expensive.
Of course, when you're in this business, you have speculations, you have hunches,
No
you have
school owns
feelings,
that.
but you never
I
let
got
those.
some of them
arrive at the
forgiven
right term
because
before
my
you
school
can,
went bankrupt.
put some evidence behind it. So again, they're going to turn every rock over to find out. Quite frankly, I think he knows a lot more than what he shared. right? You don't have your wife communicate
See?
with you that you're getting rammed by a car and go 2 hours without calling anybody. So he has cooperated. He has provided information. I think the initial story was that she was up here to visit family members. I don't know that we believe that. He did give his cell phone, which I'm incredibly grateful, because we would not have known about the Orange County deputy, at least not yet, if he did not do that. But I think that there's a lot more blanks that he can help fill in about the
Don't go by
circumstances
him.
involving this
Okay,
particular
I'm
crime
sorry.
and
Come
now
here.
potentially other crimes.
And while at this
Yeah.
time it's unclear how many suspects are involved or even who they are, as Ehrenberg explains, the crime appears to be organized and well thought out, but still a lot of questions are left unanswered.
The husband said she's visiting family, but she doesn't apparently have family there. So why? This is not a place you just get lost. This is a place 4.5 hours away from where you live.
I'm sorry he
It
did
looked
that
like
to
someone
you.
was tracking her, who knew where she would be.
Come
and
here,
then
won't you
committed this
go over there?
atrocity in broad daylight, to
You wanna go see
carjack
if
her with
Dad's
guns
back yet?
and then take her to an
Don't
empty
bark.
area where apparently they knew what was going on, just to murder her. Generally, with
Oh,
carjackings, it's about
cat and
stealing the
dog
car.
still
It's
hate
about
each other.
stealing the victim's possessions. It's not about executing someone and then
Mm.
burning all the evidence. Plus, the fact that this car was a car that was taken from a lot,
A lot.
a tow lot, and the tow driver was murdered. I mean, there was a lot going on here.
Yep.
A lot of trails of blood and evidence that will, I think, eventually lead to an arrest. It shows a level of depravity, but it also shows a level of
Okay, I'm gonna
organization.
stop
Like
sharing this
when you see
one.
mafia movies, when they shoot 100 times and not thinking they're going to get
Yep.
caught. And
This case is just so sad. Hold on. Because that was almost pretty much over anyways, guys. Let me show you the other one. It's just sad because I do believe in this one. Like, let me just go ahead and pull up the article. Hold on. Just so I could read it to you guys and we can go over it, because they have their suspects now. They have their suspects or persons of interest in this now. I don't know if I'm able to read this. Can you guys see and hear everything okay with the videos? Bless. Love that. Well, this might not work this way. Like, how can I control this? This way I can't do it. All right. Can you guys let me know if you see this? Can you guys see it like this? Let me go pull up a channel. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Okay. So. All right. This guy. Can you guys see?
That we're providing on the Catherine Aguas Vivas murder case, kidnapping case.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
And
article. Okay, so 2 persons interest. Okay, so hold on. Trying to get this to work. Okay, I just don't know if you guys can see this. Can you guys see what I'm showing you? Because I can't read it to you in that small freaking fracking thing. So, hold on. Let me just try to get my phone to load up here. All right. So this was an interest on April 11th, the carjacking and unaliving of a South Florida woman, including a man he believes is the masked gunman captured on video. While no suspects were identified, Lima said detectives were able to tie Jorditas Torres Garcia, 28 years old, to the car at the center of Catherine Guerrero. I don't want to butcher her name, and kidnapping. Detectives discovered he'd purchased the green. Hold on. Scoob! This doesn't want to load up. And I'm getting irritated. Because I can't see if you guys can see this. So we're going to stop sharing. There's a press conference with their pictures. Yes, I do remember there was going to be a press conference. Could you guys, yes, you could see it? Yes. Okay. Yes, the whole story is the husband, the brother. All right, let's go back to that. Since you guys could see it like that, then that's what we're going to do until. Okay, so share screen. Because it shows their picture. All right, I'm just going to hit play.
You know, what's incredibly important is that we continue to advise the public.
Brown in the Fox 35 studios today, and we have a press conference.
Oh, shit.
Taking place right now. The Seminole County Sheriff speaking about deadly carjacking from last week. Let's listen in.
And, you know, what's incredibly important is that we continue to advise the public as timely as we can as this case evolves. Over the past week, many of the experts that the news channels have brought in to talk about complicated and sophisticated cases like this have been absolutely correct. Over the past week, our detectives have been working with our judiciary, subpoenaing records from phones, other pieces of evidence, video evidence from crime scenes, and we're still waiting for a lot of that information to come back. We knew that initially Catherine had been traveling north from Homestead. I think the initial report that we had relayed to you that her husband, Miguel, had provided information to our detectives initially that she was coming up to visit family members. We said at the time we did not know of any family members that were located in the area. We've
I'm going to kill my husband and I'm going to beat the heck out of this dog.
Neither one of them were expecting a visit from Catherine at the time.
He knows. I'm doing a
when she was
freaking
on
video.
her way traveling up here, probably around 4 p.m. in the afternoon,
He
when
knows
she
how
was
this
probably
dog
in
acts
the
when he
area
leaves.
of downtown Orlando on I-4, there was likely a communication, a phone call that occurred through a FaceTime communication. We had reported that the husband, Miguel, had provided his phone and was cooperative, but we thought that there was a lot of details that he was leaving out, is what I said at the last news conference. Her brother, Louis, has also been providing information and also gave his telephone up voluntarily for forensic examination and actually was conducting, by his words, his own independent investigation. He did not contact law enforcement to do that, but he reached out from a computer that was connected to an iPhone through an iCloud account and found a contact that looked like it was the last person that Catherine had spoken with. And then, by his report, he called that person and he said he didn't know who that person was.
We rescued him when he was a puppy.
Of the person
so anytime me or my husband leave,
we have later identified that person. I'm going to call him Giovanni for now.
Giovanni is the one guy's name.
There's going to be a lot of names here, but I'm going to call him Giovanni. We'll release his full name at the conclusion of this press conference. He takes a still photo, does not know who the person is, and sends it to our detectives. The forensic examination of his phone shows a greater picture of not only the person that he sent us the photograph of, but he was actually in FaceTime. So it's a FaceTime photograph of Lewis talking with this person who we now know to be Giovanni. We identify Giovanni by taking the photograph that is contained in the image that is released, running it through a database called Faces that's run in Pinellas County by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office,
I can pull it up
and it
that
matches
way.
with
I know how to pull it up.
98.6%
I might be
a
able to search it.
2019 arrest in Orange County, a booking image that identifies the person as Giovanni. Giovanni and his girlfriend, will use her last name for this as Soto. They reside in Castleberry. As detectives are awaiting a lot of the investigative reports to come back on the phone tolls, photographs, 417 cameras, all of these things, we ultimately, through surveillance, established probable cause to conduct a search warrant of the home in Castleberry where Giovanni and his girlfriend Soto live.
See? Listen to
we
this.
Conduct the search warrant after Giovanni and Soto leave the residence. We go inside and ultimately find fentanyl, a gun, the gun not a 10 millimeter,
trigger warning,
and
trigger
likely
warning.
not related to this particular crime. And ultimately, Giovanni is facing charges for that. While we're conducting the search warrant, we get contacted by our federal partners at HSI that Soto, the girlfriend of Giovanni, and an occupant
Uh-oh, first time it starts buffering.
of the house in
Thank you,
Castleberry that we're
sweetheart.
executing a search warrant on.
You found me the
takes
link.
and
Okay.
accepts
I wonder if it'd
delivery.
be easy if can you send it to my email, Toots? If you could, because if I pull it up, I might be able to.
3 kilos of cocaine after it was mailed
3
in
kilos of
through
cocaine?
the mail.
How much drugs were these people having in their homes? I hope I didn't have kids around. Could you imagine all those
United
drugs?
States Postal Service intercepted that. A delivery was made in Osceola County.
So this has drugs and smuggling all over it.
County, where Soto collects that delivery. She is arrested.
You're a super trooper girl. You're my super girl. Email set. I think I got it.
Facing federal charges and currently incarcerated in Osceola County under a federal hold. Looking at that, Giovanni is facing Seminole County charge.
Of course, now it wants to start messing up.
Charges of trafficking fentanyl, and then we will release specific details.
And I can't back it up through here.
And ask for the public's assistance to help us locate him. We've got his photo. We're going to put a photo.
Come on.
Up on the screen later in this news conference. Going back to the vehicle.
Oh boy, this vehicle is the star of the show.
I said that the green Acura was incredibly unique. There were 3 in the state. Two were salvaged. There was only one that was out there, but there was no license plate on the Acura.
Yeah, I know. I do.
Acura. In a previous news conference, I said it was legitimately owned by a family in
Get like a closer
Castleberry.
Wi-Fi box, because it's downstairs. But I need to call AT&T and Like, look, this internet man.
They sold it to a dealership or traded it at a dealership. It went to an auto auction.
Which we know all
and then
that now.
posted-
We know all of that. But I wanted to show you guys their pictures, and I don't understand why this video. Let me start. Oops. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm going to pause this real quick because I want to show you guys. I'm going to get to the picture here. Hold on. We're getting there. There you go. There's one of your bad guys. Can you guys see that real quick? Let me go double check. One of the bad guys. Can you guys? Oh, you can't see it.
Oak Ridge, a couple miles south of Oak Ridge.
Okay, because the other screen was killing me, guys. There's your guys' one of your guys' bad boys. There's his date of birth. His name is Dorshita Torres Garcia. And they have him now.
Taken at time of the arrest just after noon today. Again, he is here at our.
I can see you guys' comments from the phone too, okay? I had the phone pulled up. Let me turn my
office,
there we go.
Being interviewed for his action in this crime. Now,
he was born in 1995, so how old is he?
now back to the comparison photographs, please. We can go back to that. I'm identifying.
Let me just rewind a little because sometimes it works if I have it like stopped for a minute.
Of somebody with the name of Jordanish Torres Garcia. We'll put his photograph up.
Come on. You were doing so good. You were doing so good, internet. Come on.
Up there. Jordanish Torres Garcia.
Look at this guy. Freaking, and all the drugs that they had, you guys, they had fentanyl.
Again,
they had
the name used in that profile
they had
is Jordan
those two,
LaTroy.
the F and the C, okay?
The
I gotta
phone
remember, we
that
got to use those code terms. So code terms, they had a lot of F and a lot of C, and they got intercepted. The C was
the phone
intercepted.
number that he uses links back to his legitimate legal name, Jordanish.
Come on, bad boy. Come on.
Torres Garcia, or as he goes by Jordan. 28 years
28 years old, you guys. I want to know what the motive was. What was the motive to do this? Money?
He had an active
drugs,
felony warrant for weapons possession.
Hi, Mitter. You little bad boy. Yeah, you little bad boy.
And with the assistance of the U.S. Marshals, the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
Come on. He was just working good.
And the Seminole County Sheriff's Office, we now have him in custody here at the Sheriff's Office.
So they have him in custody, y'all. I think they got the other guy,
too. They arrested him in Orange County as he was walking in to a business.
Come on, internet.
On Orange Avenue, south of
All right, let me try this, guys. Usually this works. Okay.
Jordanish Torres Garcia.
Come on, stop it. Stop doing that. This is irking me because
Again, the name used in that profile is Jordan LaTroy. The phone that
I don't want to go downstairs because it's hard
the
to do
phone
my
number that
videos
he
down there.
uses links back to his legitimate legal name, Jordanish.
Come on, internet, come on.
Torres Garcia, or as he goes by Jordan, 28 years old.
All right, let me move once in this room.
He had an active felony warrant for weapons possession.
Wow. 28 years old and he had a felony weapons charge. He's only Jesus. So they started young. He started young with his crime.
And with the assistance of the U.S. Marshals, the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, come on. I totally moved. And everything right now. Just to be able to get this clip to play.
And the Seminole County Sheriff's Office, we now have him in custody here at the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, this article is playing with me. Y'all, it's playing with me. So what if I should just
him,
go to the other one?
In Orange County as he was walking in to a business.
I guess I could email it. I got to email it to my email. One that Ash sent me. This guy is being a pain in my ass.
On Orange Avenue, south of
he can't even think of the thing.
I think it's Oak Ridge, a couple miles south of Oak Ridge. And this photograph is a photograph that was.
What I should have done is connected to my hotspot. Is what I should have
taken at the time of the arrest, just after noon today. Again, he is here at our.
But anyways, they have him. Let me go. I could probably go further in.
Being interviewed for his connection in this crime. Now,
I'm trying to think what we should do, guys, because this isn't playing.
Now, back to the comparison of photographs, please. We can go back to that. I'm
identifying what? What are we identifying? Because this is not working.
Identifying him as a person of interest.
Let me see if there's any photographs down here. There's the young woman that they unalived, which is just horrible.
Because when it comes to legal cases, that's probably the safest thing to call him. But his phone number is matching the phone number that was given with the person who purchased the green Acura. The profile that is connected to him, the image on the right, or in front of what looks like a location, a tourist location in Orlando, is the profile.
Wow. Did we just hear that right? He's the one. The cell phone came back to him as purchasing the car. So I didn't know that. So now we know that. That's a different piece of. I honestly think the husband is selling drugs or he's smuggling drugs, And I think the wife was just retaliation, maybe. I don't like to speculate. We know we don't like to speculate here, but that's just in my opinion. There's more to this story.
File image that he has had up there since January. And then, of course, the photograph of the crime scene of what he's wearing looks to me like it's identical, right? So I don't know how.
And this guy goes on for a minute, but
strong you can emphasize a
pause it and let it go. It plays. So let's just keep doing what we're doing.
person of interest.
He's
not going to be released. He has federal charges that he's going to be held on, and this investigation will continue. All of this is without yet getting the tolls and the records that we have subpoenaed out there.
Wow.
We still don't know yet who the other occupant in the green Acura is. We'll continue to work that angle of the investigation. But again, this is great police work, great investigative follow-up, a collaboration between the FBI, the DEA, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, HSI, and our media partners who have been doing an outstanding job.
Once again, that is Seminole County Sheriff Dennis Lima with an update on the deadly carjacking that happened last week in Winter Springs. As he just stated, you heard right there, there's been another arrest in connection to the case, this time for drugs. And as he just said, there's a person of interest. Now, Jordan Torres Garcia also in custody. And they're also looking for one more person. But we're going to have a crew. We have a crew there, and we're going to have all the latest developments today, right here on Fox 35 News at 5. We'll also have more coverage on.
Let's try to skip ahead. That was weird how that was playing like that.
Not that we have right now.
Why would they have that like that?
Well, listen, he's
like, why would they have a clip like that? Do that? Come on, play.
He's wanted for gun charges out of Puerto Rico, right? And I think that although there's not a whole lot documented other than that, it's fair to say he's got a lot of connections that are probably.
All right, let me stop doing that. All right, let me come back to y'all. Hold on. That drug deal gone bad, you think, Ash? I think there's something totally more to this story, but we're going to go to a different spot here. Let me just get this started here. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back to you. All right, so okay. There was 3 updates to this, okay? So I have something here that's might play better. So hold on. Plays better through YouTube. Why it plays better through YouTube? It does.
Murder case.
Let me put the speed up.
Case. And you know what's incredibly important is that we continue to advise the public.
John Brown in the Fox 35 studios today, and we have a press conference taking place right now. Speaking about the deadly carjacking last week. Let's listen in.
And you know what's incredibly important is that we continue to advise the public as timely as we can as this case evolves. Over the past week, many of the experts that the news channels have brought in to talk about complicated and sophisticated cases like this have been absolutely correct. Over the past week, our detectives have been working with our judiciary, subpoenaing records from phones, other pieces of evidence, video evidence from crime scenes, and we're still waiting for a lot of that information to come back. We knew that initially Catherine had been traveling north from Homestead. I think the initial report that we had relayed to you that her husband, Miguel, had provided information to our detectives initially that she was coming up to visit family members. We said at the time we did not know of any family members that were located in the area. We've since located at least 2 family members, but neither one of them were expecting a visit from Catherine at the time. When she was on her way traveling up here, probably around 4 p.m. in the afternoon, when she was probably in the area of downtown Orlando on I-4,
Can we put you guys'
there
comments
was
back
likely a
up?
communication, a phone call that occurred through a FaceTime communication.
Sorry,
We had
midnight was
reported
in my
that,
area.
the
I
husband,
had to
Miguel,
kick
had
him
provided
out.
his phone and was cooperative, but we thought that there was a lot of details that he was leaving out, is what I said
I
at the
took a
last
cute
news
picture
conference.
of it though.
Her brother, Louis, has also been providing information and also gave his telephone up voluntarily for forensic examination and actually was conducting, by his words, his own independent investigation. He did not contact law enforcement to do that, but he reached out from a computer that was connected to an iPhone through an iCloud account and found a contact that looked like it was the last person that Catherine had spoken with. And
This
then,
is the
on his report,
husband
he
doing
called that
this,
person, and
Ash.
he
So
said he
you
did not
are,
know who that person was.
I think the case is
He
totally
screenshotted an
sus.
image of the person that he called.
Hope you guys are all
We have
still
later
here.
identified
I'm
that
so
person. I'm going to call
sorry
him
for the
Giovanni for
internet
now.
issues. Please don't leave.
There's be a lot of names here, but I'm going to call him Giovanni. We'll release his full name at the conclusion of this press conference. He takes a still photo, does not know who the person is, and sends it to our detectives. The forensic examination of his phone shows a greater picture of not only the person that he sent us the photograph of, but he was actually in FaceTime. So it's a FaceTime photograph of Louis talking with this person who we now know to be Giovanni. We identify Giovanni by taking the photograph that is contained in the image that is released, running it through a database called Faces that's run in Pinellas County by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, and it matches with 98.6% a 2019 arrest in Orange County, a booking image that identifies the person as Giovanni.
Let me show you
Giovanni
guys.
and his girlfriend, will use her last name for this, as Soto.
We heard all that.
To this, looking at that.
Because we know about Giovanni, we know about the girlfriend and the drugs, but I wanted to get a little bit further in it.
Pay here dealership. We'll put an image up on the screen here.
There you guys go. I want you guys to get a look at him. A better look at this guy. He's one of them, y'all. One of them. Now the husband, I don't understand.
And with the assistance of the U.S.
I mean,
Marshals,
it's good.
The Orange County Sheriff's Office.
What do we think about the husband and her brother investigating on their own? I mean, look what he did find by investigating on his own. He found this guy. This guy was the last person to talk to his wife. And these people had major drugs. Major drugs.
In the Seminole County Sheriff's Office, we now have him in custody here at the Sheriff's Office.
Okay, so they have him.
In Orange County as he was walking in to a business on Orange Avenue, south of
this guy.
I think it's Oak Ridge,
wanted.
a couple miles south of Oak Ridge. And this photograph is a photograph that was taken at the time of the arrest, just after noon today. Again, he is here at our office being interviewed for his connection in this crime.
Let's go to this guy.
We'll have media packets that kind of summarize as much as we can.
Give me
Again,
one
incredibly
second,
complicated investigation that has twists and turns. But in just about a week, I think that there's great progress in this investigation without getting a lot of the court documents and records back yet. When those records come back, I think it's going to be able to put a lot of the pieces of the puzzle that are still outstanding together. So with that, again, this is an ongoing investigation. I will try to answer as many questions as I can possibly answer. The direct connection between Jordan and Catherine has not yet been established. I think that we have established a clear connection between Catherine's brother and Giovanni, and we have not made the connection yet with Jordan as far as this. So to answer the question of why, if this is our shooter, why he would target her, I can't answer that question yet.
Why? This is...
Yes,
I understand
those
why,
connections will
but
largely
I was
be
just
based on
doing
the
it.
evidence that we get back from phones and records and computer records and documents. But again, no further information on the connection with the tow truck driver at this time with this. Not that we have right now.
And this was just
well, listen, he's wanted for gun charges out of Puerto Rico, right? And I think that although there's not a whole lot documented other than that, it's fair to say he's got a lot of connections that are probably illicit and illegal. But we'll get that record back. I mean, we didn't even know where he was until noon today. So now that we have him, it'll be based upon what he says in this interview. But he's a bad guy. There's no doubt about it. Well, the only thing that we know for sure is the photograph in the face or the alias Facebook account was taken in January. There is some criminal history in 2024 for a burglary. We're looking to see kind of where that was out of. I think it was out of Orange County where he has a connection there. So at least the past 4 months.
But the last past 4 months, this guy has a record.
All of this is fresh information coming out right now.
This is where he takes questions.
So we know that the tow truck driver is connected with this, right? We have the 10mm casings. We have some evidence that was collected by the Orange County.
Let's go to there.
Book profile that has an image of him appearing to wear the exact same thing that was seen on the video that was captured of the kidnapping that we witnessed time and time again.
It worked.
Exact same
it's
clothing.
but
His name that he's used is Jordan LaTroy. He gives a phone number. The phone number matches a database back in Orange County in a burglary case, and the phone number comes back to a legitimate name, Jordanish Torres Garcia. And even the alias has some version of his legitimate name in that. He was arrested today afternoon on a federal violation of probation warrant for a gun charge, not for this case. We're listing him as a person of interest, as strong as you can get as a person of interest. And I'm sure that as evidence comes in, we will update what his status is and what we're actually calling him. So that's the update for today.
Okay.
I want to
So let me go to
thank
this
our partners,
one.
media, the local.
If it'll play right, hopefully it'll play right. This is the other one that I do believe.
Get hydrated, healthier skin with Pureology Future Proof RX with clinically proven ingredients.
Sorry for the ads.
This thing, I mean, this is right out of a television show, right? I mean, you see these things. There's a lot of bizarre circumstances here.
Florida authorities make a gruesome discovery as they find a body in a burning car. Now investigators believe it's the body of a woman who was carjacked in broad daylight. Last week, Catherine Altagracia Guerrero de Aguas Visas was driving her car when she stopped at a red light in Seminole County, Florida. At the light, an armed gunman held her up at gunpoint, forcing their way into the white Dodge Durango. The terrifying carjacking was captured on cell phone footage from a witness in the vehicle behind the two cars. According to Seminole County Sheriff Dennis Lema, the gunman exited the green Acura, which was directly behind the victim's vehicle. The gunman was wearing a black hoodie, a ski-type mask, and carrying what appeared to be an automatic handgun consistent with a 10mm.
Points directly at the driver, Catherine, tells her, we suspect, unlock the door, which she does. He jumps in the rear passenger seat behind the driver, and she immediately makes a U-turn.
When the light turned green, Catherine made a U-turn. The green Acura followed behind.
Probably heading, speculation here, but probably heading in a direction where the suspect does not want them to go. And we suspect that he orders her to turn around again and reapproach the intersection of East Lake and Tuscaloosa Road. At that intersection, they turn south, and they're heading southbound, nearly rush hour traffic.
It says no U-turns.
U-turns
there.
The Seminole Orange County line,
They put this girl through hell.
When they get to Aloma, they make a left. They go all the way across all lanes of traffic so they can get on 417 southbound. At this time, we suspect that Catherine is still driving under the armed dictatorship of the suspect. Here's where you're going to go. Here's where you're going to drive.
The sheriff said Catherine then started driving toward a new construction area where they believe the suspect were familiar with. Nearly 2 hours after the carjacking was captured on video, deputies were called to that exact area for a horrific update.
That was set off in a little bit of a distance, but not so far away that eyewitnesses could not report hearing gunshots and ultimately the smoke of a fire that was set ablaze.
They set that vehicle
by the time
on
authorities
blaze.
with the Osceola County Sheriff's Office arrived there was so much damage to the vehicle, you could not positively identify the vehicle, but they also discovered that one person was deceased and found in that vehicle. Now, it's an important part here because we believe that to be the vehicle and the decedent to be Catherine, but we have to positively confirm that through the scientific method of DNA examinations.
So it's so bad they're going to have to use DNA and possibly her teeth.
It's consistent to everything we've seen so far.
Authorities say a dozen shell casings were found at the scene from 10mm rounds. Prior to the carjacking, Catherine called her husband to tell him that someone ran into the back of her car and was following her.
About a half a mile or so prior to that intersection, she started to notice that the green Acura was behind her, and the Acura was actually ramming into her back bumper at that time. At that time, she picked up the phone and called her husband, told her husband that she was being rammed, that there was somebody there that was following her. The husband provided the advice to don't stop anywhere.
I want to know what this cop did. What was the involvement in
either,
this?
Catherine or the husband that we're aware of.
And the suspect knew exactly who they were following and what they were doing.
We are, again, still putting together to try to explain a motive. There's no criminal history here for either Catherine or her husband in the United States. There's no clear indicator why somebody would do this. Why would they target them? But we do feel and believe because she was being followed. They were watching that. She called her husband. Husband said, don't leave the car. No reports to law enforcement that this was not a random act of violence, that the perpetrators knew exactly
probably won't be able to get
why they're going after them is something that is a part of our ongoing continuing investigation.
The third topic, but we're definitely going to go to the little girl.
Investigators believe Catherine, who lives in South Florida, traveled to Central Florida shortly after noon last Thursday and arrived in Seminole County 2 hours later.
We know at around 2 o'clock, the vehicle was seen traveling northbound in Jupiter, and she came into Seminole County through downtown Orlando in I-4.
I do want to go.
3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon is when she is arriving here. She stops at a Seminole County gas station. It was a Shell gas station located just south of 436 and 1792. She pulls in there, pumps gas, stays there for approximately 8 minutes. She travels from that location heading northbound on 1792 into Seminole County, and then ultimately gets into Castleberry and turns down Button Road and weaves through the back streets on East Lake through Winter Springs.
We might be able to go over that press conference that you sent me, Ash. I'm pulling it up now to see what it looks like.
The video was released on.
And while Catherine called her husband to tell him she was being followed, she did not call 911 before she was kidnapped.
I want to go through why this cop is involved. This cop lost his job and everything.
I can't explain why this would occur a half a mile before the intersection, that she would call her husband. Her husband would say, don't stop. I can see somebody saying, don't stop. But to not call 911 is something that Then again, I don't know the answer to that. Sure. If it was me, I'm going to call 911, or I'm going to encourage my family and friends to call 911. That did not happen in this case.
At the time, investigators were on the search for the green Acura the attackers used during Catherine's carjacking. But in another twist, investigators now say they found the car and believe it's connected to another murder of a Florida tow truck driver.
The first is we're no longer looking for a green 2002 Acura. We've located that vehicle. The circumstances leading up to that.
The car was involved in two murders.
The car was legitimately owned by a family in Winter Springs. They sold that to a legitimate car dealership back in December. Sold the car or traded the car in. As car dealerships typically do, they traded off to an auto auction. They went to an auto auction and then ultimately was purchased by a buy here, pay here owner operator who sold it from their lot in Seminole County. Temporarily put on largely from a stolen tag. Being murder.
Witness the lies.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph.
One of the rounds found at the scene were 10mm rounds, which is.
Oh shit! See, that's when it starts buffing.
Well done, Viv. You got the presents, the balloons,
Sorry,
and the raptor cake.
It's a long crime. Okay, so we're going to get to that. Why that guy is involved, because we don't know. I don't know when the dog was barking and all that. I couldn't hear what was going on with the cop. So we're going to find out what he has, what role he has in all of this.
Sheriff Lema said Garcia's death is still under
That's
investigation.
guy. He's been murdered as well.
Catherine's deaths are connected.
I absolutely think they're connected, but we'll have to have physical evidence that absolutely proves that.
When that shooting happened on Wednesday, again, there's a lot of moving parts here, so I want to make sure for clarity. That car wasn't on the scene in Taft last Wednesday. That car was towed 2 or 3 weeks before then, right?
And then released. So what we have, and I don't want to get too far into the Orange County investigation, although they are working hand in glove with our detectives here. But a green vehicle was seen at that location. It seems like it was towed back in March, ultimately released on the scene of this particular crime. So we think the green vehicle was there at the murder scene.
But the case took yet another turn. An Orange County deputy was arrested on Sunday. He's now charged with 5 felonies after being accused of leaking details about the investigation to Catherine's husband. Deputy Francisco Estrella is accused of not only leaking the investigation details, but also leaking the lead detective's home address.
We know that, or we believe that they were childhood friends. Of course, there was a relationship with there, but what they had to gain is something that that I'm incredibly interested in. Why would somebody do this? Why would they put their own job and life on the line to communicate with one of our detectives, to get an alias in the process? Now, he's been an Orange County deputy for 1 year, but to get an alias in the process, never knowing that Miguel, the decedent's husband, is going to release his phone. That if he didn't release the phone, I don't know we would ever know this. So this is it's incredibly frightening. And but I suspect we'll find a lot more about this as the investigation goes on.
Deputy Estrella was placed on leave without pay pending an investigation, but his arrest added another layer of mystery to the case.
If any of this is true, he's not getting the job back. He's going to lose his ticket, meaning he won't be a law enforcement officer ever again in any jurisdiction. So I got to believe he's probably thinking it wasn't worth it to do this.
I spoke with Palm Beach County State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg. His office has no affiliation with the case, but he says the sight of the deputy in a jumpsuit and steel bracelets is shocking.
You have to know doing this is illegal. You have to know that by getting involved in a murder investigation and trying to impede justice, that you're going to get in trouble. It's like, why?
Why? Like, why would he do that? This cop, I mean, I understand he wanted to help his friend. His wife was unalived, followed. Her car was burnt. She was not. You know why? But this cop risked everything to help this guy, and you know, you can't do that.
It's so bizarre. I can't answer it. I have no idea why a trained law enforcement.
This case has so many damn twists and turns in it, Ash. I cannot freaking believe this.
Officer would get involved in a murder investigation where the guy who could be the main suspect is asking for help to identify personal information, including the home address of the detective who is investigating his wife's murder. Doesn't make any sense to me, and hopefully things will come into focus sometime soon.
While the sheriff mentioned Catherine's husband has been cooperative and not a person of interest, the sheriff believes her husband hasn't been entirely truthful. As many questions still linger, one of the biggest remaining questions: why was Catherine even in Seminole County?
Well, we have no idea why she's here. We know that she was here for less than an hour. We have no evidence of her ever being in Seminole County ever before. We believe that she was absolutely targeted and followed to a certain extent, to a certain point. And I think that one of the most important things that for us to get out on Friday was this was not a random act of violence that occurred. That she absolutely was targeted. Why she was targeted, I think, is something that our detectives are working aggressively to be able to answer that question. Of course, when you're in this business, you have speculations, you have hunches, you have feelings, but you never let those arrive at the lectern before you can put some evidence behind it. So again, they're going to turn every rock over to find out. Quite frankly, I think he knows a lot more than what he should, right? You don't have your wife communicate with you that you get rammed by a car and go 2 hours without calling anybody. So he has cooperated. He has provided information. I think the initial story was that she was up here to visit family members. I don't know that we believe that.
He didn't believe that.
The cell phone, which I'm incredibly grateful, because we would not have known about the Orange County deputy, at least not yet, if he did not do that. But I think that there's a lot more blanks that he can help fill in about the circumstances involving this particular crime and now potentially other crimes.
And while at this time it's unclear how many suspects are involved or even who they are, as Ehrenberg explains, the crime appears to be organized and well thought out. Still a lot of questions are left unanswered.
The husband says she's visiting family, but she doesn't apparently have family there. So why? This is not a place you just get lost. This is a place 4.5 hours away from where you live. So it looked like someone was tracking her who knew where she would be, and then who committed this atrocity in broad daylight, the carjacker with guns, and then take her to an empty area where they apparently knew what was going on just to murder her. Generally, with carjacking, it's about stealing the car. It's about stealing the victim's possessions. It's not about executing someone and then burning all the evidence. Plus, the fact that this car was a car that was taken from a a lot that was a tow lot, and the tow driver was murdered. I mean, there was a lot going on here. A lot of trails of blood and evidence that will, I think, eventually lead to an arrest. It shows a level of depravity, but it also shows a level of organization. Like when you see mafia movies, when they shoot 100 times and not think they're going to get caught. And look for what? To get their car back that they needed apparently to commit more crimes. Because otherwise, why would you go commit a heinous crime of murder where you could be given the death penalty, but for the fact that you needed that unregistered car to commit crime which you may have been paid for whatever reason. It doesn't look like there's any motive to carjack and murder this poor woman. Unless
I'm gonna come back to this, but I know we know they got the suspects. I will try to go back to that clip that Ash sent me. But I really got to tell you guys, I really got to show you guys this, because this is going to make you angry, sad, hurt. How could this be so close to me? Excuse me, this is only a few hours away. This is in Indiana. Trigger warning. Trigger freaking fracking warning. Please, you guys. Just be.
How does this weird
be? Because this is hard. I almost could barely watch this.
tiny lamp help with dust mite allergies?
So we
Studies show that dust mites are the #1 root cause
I
of
don't see nobody
Now
talking
what's trending
about
in
this.
true crime in Indiana community.
I don't see nobody talking about this on YouTube since I've been up this afternoon. I've not seen one soul come across this. I don't see nobody talking about this. And does anybody know the story that we're about to get into? I'm sorry about going off on the carjacking one. It's just it was making me irritated, and they had the suspects. I will go back to it, but this case needs some love, and it gets crazy, guys.
Asking for a change in the child welfare system after a 5-year-old girl was allegedly starved to death. Kinsley Welty was found unresponsive in a closet earlier this month, weighing less than she did when she was 2 years old. She had feces caked on her hands, in her hair, and on her feet. First responders saw brown handprints on the closet door where she was held captive. Her grandparents said that they feared this would happen.
We don't want any more kids to have to die because of the failure of the system. It's not right. She was in our home, and she was safe, and she was loved, and she was handed back her abuser.
When she came to us the second time, she was bruised from head to toe. She had clumps of hair missing throughout her whole head.
This is sad. The freaking system failed these. These people loved
her. And I gave her back.
Their grandparents loved this little girl, you guys. Loved this little girl. And the system kept giving them back. You're not going to believe it. These people kept getting this baby back 3 different times. What is wrong with our justice system? This one is so sad, Ash. I know you guys got babies. I don't have babies, but I have nieces and nephews, and I can't imagine. My brother was never raised like that, but there's so many families out here that, okay, let me play this.
Kinsley's mom, Tony McClure, McClure's boyfriend, and McClure's mother were all arrested. The mother has been charged with murder and has a history with DCS. She was jailed.
Has a history with JFS, and they get away of fucking doing this? Nah, man. Nah. Burn these motherfuckers. Sorry, excuse my language. Burn these people. Oh, this infuriates me.
When Kinsley was just 3 weeks old because the baby was malnourished. So our question this morning, should family reunification always be the goal? We have 3 great guests here to talk about it in the studio with me, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor, and entertainment lawyer Daryl Cohen, standing by remotely, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Joe Tamburino, and with us remotely, the former director for the Department of Family and Children's Services in the state of Georgia, Mr. Tom Rawlings. Great to have you all here. And Tom, I'd like to begin with you, if I may, please. Reunification, when you have indication after indication, proof after proof that there's abuse going on in the home, and yet the child is being returned.
Okay, so if Jonesin, or maybe Emmy Headstones, I don't know why I call her that. I always call her Headstones. Headstones, little headstone. Hey girl out there. You think you could help cover this? I know it's horrible, sad, but we need good YouTubers. I don't want to see any people other than good souls covering this, like me, maybe. Oh my God, who is good out there left? Deets, maybe. I don't think the good Nunya would cover something like this. I don't know. She don't really do. Does she do true crime? I love the good Nunya. You guys, who could we share this out to too? I want to get the story out there.
Again and again and again. It sounds like an idiot drill, yet it keeps happening. Please tell us why reunification is the goal, and should it be, in your expert opinion?
Well, Julie, it's good to be with you. Reunification can be a good thing because keeping families together and we can fix family problems is what we should be trying to do. In this situation, unfortunately, we're dealing with a case where this child was horribly neglected, abused, even when she was a tiny infant at 3 weeks old. It looks to me like your viewers need to know, what did Indiana Department of Children's Services do about the situation? How was it that they continued time after time, apparently, to remove this child and then simply return her to the same horrible circumstances in which they first found her back in 2018?
Tom, I'm so glad you brought that up. That's exactly what the prosecutors on this case are asking. I have a clip about that. Let's take a look.
Oh, look at that bitch.
They were not aware, or when they made that house visit, they certainly didn't uncover or appreciate what was going on inside the house. And so I think that poses a lot of questions for us.
This is one of the GFS peoples. Oh my God, this system failed this little girl.
Okay, he spoke very softly there, quietly. Let me just repeat the first line. DCS was at the house the day this child passed away and had no idea. They were coming.
No idea. You got to be effing fracking kidding me. They were there that day, and they didn't do a damn thing to help this little girl, but to rip her out of the grandparents' home and then give her to the...
What do you think when you hear that?
Hear no evil, see no evil. You have to open your eyes. I don't care if you're a lawyer. I don't care if you're a social worker. It doesn't matter who you are. You have to be aware of circumstances. And here, it's even more telling, Julie. Why, when she had a previous history of being abused, why wasn't the social worker more aware? There is no excuse, less than no excuse.
You're absolutely right, Daryl. Joe Tamburino, I want to go to you on your legal opinion, please, about reunification. Why a court would want to reunite a child. Do you agree that maybe changes need to happen? Maybe that shouldn't be the goal all the time? Your thoughts, please.
Good morning, Julie. Thanks for having me on. Reunification has to be the goal, and here's why. What you're trying to do is help families fix problems. I mean, I've done criminal defense work now for many years.
Okay, I understand they want to fix families, but this cannot happen ever, ever, ever again. Indiana, get your shit together, people. You all. The justice system should be held accountability. That JFS dude that was there the day that this little girl was unalived needs to be held accountable. The court people, the whatever, that let this case slip underneath their rings, need to be accountable.
And I've had many clients who have had some drug issues, alcohol issues. We work through the process. They go through DCS.
This isn't drug and alcohol. This is, I don't know.
Parenting plans, and many of them, by far the majority of my clients.
Oh, I wish I knew how to do a poll from here. Anybody know how to do a poll when we're live? I can't believe this.
Have come out okay, and they get reunified with their children. So reunification has to be the goal, to try to keep the families intact. However, I agree with your other guests. In this situation, it doesn't appear like the DCS workers did their due diligence. I mean, because you had some glaring examples of abuse. Additionally, Ms. McClure, the mother in this case, she was already prosecuted.
Yeah, I didn't even know this.
I believe in 2018 because she was a neglectful parent. The writing was on the wall in this case.
I know.
But overall, I still think you have to have reunification as a goal.
Joe, thank you for that. Speaking of the mother's past conduct, I'm glad you brought that up. Something that's sinister, sickening, puzzling. It says that she had multiple boys who were all mistreated. We believe this bit of information from court documents we poured through. Multiple boys.
She had multiple boys, you guys. She had other kids. But the mother didn't do the worst things to the boys than what she did to the kid, to the little girl. What the Keely? I'm trying to make sure I don't mess up her name. Kinsley.
All mistreated, but none of them treated as badly what Kinsley was, her daughter. None of the boys were treated the same. Tom Rawlings, what do you think when you hear that?
Yeah, so when I hear that, Julie, my first thought is, was it because of who the father was? The father was a guy named Welty, obviously. I don't know if it was because she had a problem with him. I don't know if it was because she had some kind of misogynistic tendencies. She didn't want
Sorry for my
but
disclaimer.
as the grandparents noted, she
Trigger warning,
just didn't want this particular child and targeted this particular child from the beginning. And we do see that sometimes where one child is singled out for especially bad treatment. And it's really a psychological issue as much as anything else.
Tom, appreciate it. I want to show everyone the charges. So we've got Tony McClure and Ryan Smith. We've got McClure charged with murder, criminal confinement, battery on a person under the age of 14, boyfriend charged with 3 child neglect offenses, 1 count of criminal confinement. Joe and Daryl, I want to tap into your experience as criminal defense attorneys and talk what possible defense strategies may we have here. And I'd like to assign each of you one of the defendants. So let's start with Mom. Okay, Mom, allegedly the worst actor here. Daryl, let me go to you on her.
She's the worst
How
actor,
might
all right.
you defend this if you're tasked with representing her?
that's a case I would not take. But if I did take it, if I was forced by the court or asked by the court, the first thing I would do is have a psychological evaluation, both by a psychiatrist and a psychologist, and show that mom has mental problems. I would also show that in spite of the fact that there had been continuing abuse, that had
maybe.
the Department of Services.
Okay. Could it be the drugs? Could drugs make a person do something like that? I mean, can drugs really do that to somebody? And then mental health, could that? But then why was the justice system keep giving her back? I don't understand that.
Child welfare people, had they done their job, that mom would have been prosecuted for not for murder, but for a lesser crime. So what I try to do is bring it up because it's going to happen anyway, and then try to make it a little softer for mom. But honestly, it's very difficult to represent someone, not what they're charged with, but what they have done. Not just the charges, but the acts.
No, certainly, Daryl. I know criminal defense work is a tough thing to do. I always say, don't get mad at the attorneys. They are just standing up for the law and doing what the law requires. Joe, to you next, please. Let's talk boyfriend, Mr. Ryan Smith here. His charges, we're talking about, criminal confinement, child neglect offenses.
And I paused freakly, but I don't understand that, you guys. Like, I could play other videos from other sources, and then I get freezing halfway through it. But when I play it from YouTube, I don't have as many issues. Why that is, I don't know. Okay, let's listen some more.
Murder. How do you handle the boyfriend, Joe, if you're repping him?
You blame Ms. McHugh. I mean, there's no doubt about it. She's the mother. She's the one with the prior record. You blame her. I mean, that's going to be part of my defense if I represented him, that she was the main actor. He hardly knew what was going on. He assisted only in a very small role, and he's very sorry for that. And you try to get a lesser included.
Right. I wonder if they may try to get him to, you wonder how much information they need. If they need him to flip on her, who knows? It seems pretty glaringly obvious to me what was going on with that poor child, and how DCS didn't see it is unfathomable. We'll continue following this case very closely. May little Kinsley Welty rest in peace. May she get justice. A big thank you to Tom Rollins for coming on the show this morning, lending us his expertise. Tom, thank you kindly.
Let me show you how we do stuff around here.
Okay.
My department uses Monday.com, so I'm good. Work management.
Interest, as strong as you can get as a person of interest.
No, this is the other
and I'm
one.
sure that as
Okay.
evidence comes in, we will.
Now, I'm going to stop that for a minute. Okay. Yay, I'm back. We're back. Okay, what do you guys think about that, baby? What do you guys think about that case? Now, that's new. I don't know. It didn't say when that exactly happened. It didn't give no dates, did it? But that's just nuts that that court system took that baby out of so many houses, out of that home, that it was loved, Let me just check. Okay, so I want to show you, what was I going to show you guys? The new press conference. I have that pulled. Let me go present here. It might be this one. I thought this was.
We'll update what his status is and what we're actually calling him. So that's the update for today. I want to again thank our partners, both with the media, the local, state, and federal, and specifically thank the detectives of the Seminole County Sheriff's Office who quite literally have been working this nonstop. Sometimes we say that it's a little embellished. They have been taking turns sleeping so they can work this case both day and night. And I think that when you look at the progress here and you compare it to progress that may have occurred in something across the country, and consider that really evidence of phones and all of this hasn't even come back yet, it's nothing short.
Maybe it's this one. This one says one. All right, y'all. I gotta figure out where I put that video. Give me 1 second. Because Ash emailed me a new video. So, hold on a minute. Where did I put that? Do I hear something? Okay, that's paused. I'm closing that out. Okay, so let me go really quick. Oh, it wasn't paused. Hold up, y'all. Hold on. I'm looking for that update she sent me. Okay, hold on. Oh, freaking duck. Snapchat popped up. Hold on. I cannot believe that poor little baby, though. I cannot believe that justice system took that baby from the grandparents. Well, the one I got says it was 3 days ago. So, all right, so let me show you guys one more. I did have one more. Oh, I guess we can watch this one. This one was 9 days ago. So we need to go to my watch later really quick. All right. So, you guys ready for this one? Now, you guys have babies out there, so trigger warning, Ash. This may be kind of hard. This happened 23 hours ago. I have not watched this. So trigger warning.
Hey, True Crime Besties. I'm back to an all-new episode of Seriously.
Aw, there's a girl. Oh, this was Law and Crime, though. I didn't know this was... Is this Annie and Lisa's video?
Hey everybody, welcome back to an all-new episode of Seriously with me, Annie Elise. Today's case that we're going to be talking about is one that we've touched on a little bit before. However, we haven't talked about it on the podcast. We've only talked about it over on my YouTube channel, 10 to Life. However, there have been a lot of updates now and new details in this case. Some pretty horrific
She's
details.
so pretty. I didn't know this was hers. What did I click on?
So what I wanted to do today is go...
You need that one. I'm sorry, I don't want to get strut.
Hey.
This is on
True Crime Besties. Welcome back to an all-new episode of Seriously.
It's the Law and Crime. Strike us.
Hey everybody, welcome back to an all-new episode of Seriously with
All
me.
right. I don't want her to come at me. Do you guys know her? I mean, I used to watch her a lot, but then I faded out. Does she do that type of stuff? Man, I thought that was the actual fracking video, y'all. Really? I like her too, but I don't want to risk getting great. What was the title of that video? Hold up a second. Okay, maybe this will pop up. I don't want her to come and get me. Oh, so this is pretty old. Wow. So this, y'all, is pretty. I'm pretty sure this is her. Hold up. Wait a. Yep, it is. Okay, so. All right. Okay.
As I mentioned, if you haven't heard of this case, the unbelievable tragedy of the Clancy family in Duxbury, Massachusetts.
Just fracking. I cannot believe this mom took her 3 babies. I think it's for having post-traumatic breakdown. Psychiatric breakdown. This mom had 3
occurred on January
babies.
24th, 2023, and it was just your typical average Tuesday for the Clancy family. Lindsay was a 32-year-old mother of 3. She was a mother to Cora, age 5 years old, Dawson, 3 years old, and Callan, 8 months old.
Oh my God! This was a year. This. She just remade this video 23 hours ago, but this original freaking article that I have looked up is 5 months ago. I think the one is. I'm going to put this in my saved to my watch lady. Oh my God, this lady should be freaking just. Okay, let me go back to my video since we're playing this. Shout out to Annie Elise. I thought this was Law and Crime. Please don't come and strike me, but I really wanted to get this out there. I never knew about this case. So thank you for bringing it out there, because if I wouldn't have found this without you, like I said, I didn't watch it. I didn't know this was hers. I don't want to get copyright. So this is 1976 disclaimer, fair use, and let's see how you handle this. Let's see how you handle this, how you bring it.
Lindsay and her husband Patrick were home with the kids when Patrick then left to go and pick up food for the family. Later on Tuesday night and over the days that followed, news broke and it spread like wildfire after it was reported that officers were called to the Clancy's home just after 6 p.m. and they were met with a horrific scene. Upon their arrival, the officers discovered 3 children who were unconscious with obvious signs of trauma. The 3 children were rushed to a local hospital where Cora and Dawson were pronounced as dead. The baby, 8-month-old Callan, managed to survive and was flown to Boston Children's Hospital, where he was in critical condition and getting treatment.
Wow.
But unfortunately, he died just a few days later. Lindsay was found on the ground outside of the house after cutting her wrists and jumping out of a window on the 2nd floor of the house. Soon after, Lindsay was charged for murdering her 3 children. Specifically, she was charged with 2 counts of homicide, 3 counts of strangulation or suffocation, and 3 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. So as this case continued to garner an unbelievable amount of national media attention, the public really did struggle with how to make sense of what had happened. You see, Lindsay was a loving mother, a wife, and also a labor and delivery nurse. Her and Patrick were living what many people would consider a perfect dream life in an affluent suburb with 3 precious babies. So many people wondered how a mother could do this in general. But also the fact that she was a labor and delivery nurse added a complete other layer of confusion to the case. She literally helped bring children into the world, and her social media was filled, chock full of sweet pictures with her children, Patrick, all of the kids, kissing them, holding them, playing with them. She also had this loving husband and a very strong marriage. So how on earth did this happen? Did it make any sense?
Okay. This doesn't make any sense. Okay. This doesn't make any sense. 30 minutes ago, Court TV neglect Kinsley. Okay, hold on, y'all. I got to share this really quick. Make sure that it's the right one. Okay, so I'm posting it there. This one was part of my topic too, so I'm glad I was able to touch down on this today. I was afraid we weren't going to get to it. I don't know if we're going to be able to. It's already, oh my God. This I didn't know was Annie Elise's. Hold on, guys. I'm in the process of saving this. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Whew. Are we still here? I know I got 5 of you in here with me. Whew. I was totally put off by her. Michael Long's case. It's no. Okay, hold on. I'm going to put that up here. It's a no, in my opinion. Okay, I'm not going to play her. She is not credible at all. Okay, all right. We'll see. Then we're moving on, girl. Thank you. See, I don't know about her. It said Law and Crime on there. And I know I used to watch her a long time ago. And then I've heard accusations like that before. So I pulled away. Here I was looking for Law and Crime articles and stuff, court TV stuff. I'm so glad you guys said something. Yes. Hi, Ryan. All right, so I do have some time. If you guys have some time, they have an update for the 5-year-old little girl. It was posted 2 hours ago or 30 minutes ago. So let me see if I can pull it up on here real quick ahead of time. Because two hours ago. All right. This is the other second main topic that goes to the little girl, guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and, oops, not that. I'm going to present this to you guys. So trigger warning ahead of time. But this is 2 hours ago. I don't think we watched this one. I don't remember watching this.
Allegedly starved to death. Kinsley Welty was found unresponsive in a closet earlier this month, weighing less than she did when she was 2 years old. She had feces caked on her hands, in her hair, and on her feet. First responders saw brown handprints on the closet door where she was held captive. Her grandparents said that they feared this would happen.
We don't want any more kids to have to die because of the failure of the system. It's not right. She was in our home, and she was safe, and she was loved, and she was handed back to her abuser.
When she came to us the second time, she was bruised from head to toe. She had clumps of hair missing throughout her whole head.
Oh my God.
And she was given back.
And she'd already
Look at
tried to
this
start
lovely.
with that.
These are the grandparents,
Can I get that?
guys. These are the
Swelling
grandparents.
means there's blood and fluid getting stuck. And when your lymphatic system is clogged up, that's when inflammation occurs.
Kinsley's mom told
The people we just saw on here are the grandparents who had custody. That kept getting her custody of this little girl, Kaylee Kinsley. I don't want to mess up her name. Damn it! I'm so sorry. R.I.P. Shit. And to think that Indiana is okay. So if this is in Indiana, Ohio, I want to say it's only a few hours away. Anybody know? This is very close. And I haven't seen no YouTubers talk about this. So hopefully, who is good out here on these streets that would put the love like I do into these? Do we know anybody? I know Headstones might. I don't know how deep she goes into true crime. If she does a lot of babies. But this is nobody. I don't see nobody in my algorithm other than Court TV. Court TV, shout out to Court TV.
Tony McClure, McClure's boyfriend, and McClure's mother were all arrested. The mother has been charged with murder and has a history with DCS. She was jailed when Kinsley was just 3 weeks old because the baby was malnourished.
She was jailed 3 weeks after this baby was born. That should have been your first take away and not give back at 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Question this morning. Should family reunification always be the goal? We have three great guests here to talk about it. In the studio with me, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor, and entertainment lawyer Daryl Cohen. Standing by remotely, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Joe Tamburino. And with us remotely, the former director for the Department of Family and Children's Services in the state of Georgia, Mr. Tom Rawlings. Great to have you all here. And Tom, I'd like to begin with you, if I may, please. Reunification.
We can fix family problems is what we should be trying to do. In this situation, unfortunately, we're dealing with a case where this child was horribly neglected, abused, even when she was a tiny infant at 3 weeks old. It looks to me like your viewers need to know, what did Indiana Department of Children's Services do about the situation? How was it that they continued time after time, apparently, to remove?
Indiana justice system failed this little girl. Okay, so I'm shocked.
The child and then simply return her to the same horrible circumstances in which they first found her back in 2018.
Tom, I'm so glad you brought that up. That's exactly what the prosecutors on this case are asking. I have a clip about that. Let's take a look.
Wait. Did you say 2018?
DCS was at the house the day that this child.
To remove the child and then simply return her to the same.
If he said 2018 and it's just now going to court, what the fudge? What? Wait.
Circumstances in which they first found her back in 2018.
They first found
Tom, I'm
her
so glad you
back
brought that up. That's exactly what the prosecutors on this case are asking. I have a clip about that. Let's take a look.
DCS was at the house the day that this child passed away, and they were not
DCS
aware
was
when
there
they
the
made the
day
house
she
visit. They
passed
certainly
away, guys.
didn't
Remember that.
uncover or appreciate what was going on inside the house, and so I think that poses a lot of questions for us as the prosecutor's office.
Okay, he spoke very softly there, quietly. Let me just repeat the first line. DCS was at the house the day this child passed away and had no...
The day she passed away and had no idea this was going to happen. Did DCS not go inside the home? Sorry. Did the CPS or GPS or JPS, do they not go into these homes? Do people give them such a hard time when CPS comes in? I know it is CPS. I know a lot of different jurisdictions, different cities, different states, different countries have different terminology for children's services. Mine is, where I'm at, is just Job and Family Services. Okay. Thank God I don't have to deal with them anymore because I don't get anything from them. But it's all right.
Oh, idea. Daryl Cohen, what do you think when you hear that?
Hear no evil, see no evil. You have to open
That's
your eyes.
exactly
I don't care
what
if you're a lawyer.
I totally agree with this guy, you guys. He said it. If you see no evil, you got to start saying something.
Sorry, look, read this. There's a video for it too. Man set himself on fire.
I'll look at it.
Here, I don't care if you're a social worker. It doesn't matter who you are. You have to be aware of circumstances. And here, it's even more telling, Julie. Why, when she had a previous history of being abused, why wasn't the social worker more aware? There is no excuse, less than no excuse.
You're
Absolutely, there's no excuse for this. That they should have been. This just irks me.
Daryl, Joe Tamburino, I want to go to you on your legal opinion, please, about reunification. Why a court would want to reunite a child? Do you agree that maybe changes need to happen? Maybe that shouldn't be the goal all the time? Your thoughts, please.
Good morning, Julie. Thanks for having me on. Reunification has to be the goal, and here's why. What you're trying to do is help families fix problems. I mean, I've done criminal defense work now for many years, and I've had many clients who have had some drug issues, alcohol issues. We work through the process. They go through DCS. They do parenting plans, and many of them, by far the majority of my clients, have come out okay, and they get reunified with their children. So reunification has.
Okay. Okay. After the second time, no. I could see. Okay, so they gave her a try after 3 weeks, okay? After that baby was born, 3 weeks after that baby was born, she was jailed. Now, that should have been it. That should have been her warning. That should have been her everything. Then the second time, she redid it back in 2018, from what I got from what I gathered from both of these clips. So why can we even go after the justice system? I mean, yeah, we can go after the guy we go after the CPS guy that failed her. But there was other people that failed her too. The court system, by giving her back several times. But this lady had more than enough times The second time should have been the last time. The first time should have been the last time that those people touched that baby. The grandparents looked,
has to be the goal to try to keep the families intact. However, I agree with your other guests. In this situation, it doesn't appear like the DCS workers did their due diligence. I mean, because you had some glaring examples of abuse. Additionally, Ms. McClure, the mother in this case, she was already prosecuted and served jail time, I believe in 2018, because she was a neglectful parent. So, the writing was on the wall in this case. But overall, I still think you have to have unification as a goal.
Joe, thank you for that. And speaking of the mother's past conduct, I'm glad you brought that up. Something that's sinister, sickening, puzzling. It says that she had multiple boys who were all mistreated. We believe this bit of information from court documents we poured through. Multiple boys, all mistreated, but none of them treated as badly as little Kinsley was, her daughter. None of the boys were treated the same way her daughter was. Tom Rawlings, what do you think when you hear that?
Yeah, so when I hear that, Julie, my first thought is, was it because of who the father was? The father was a guy named Welty, obviously. I don't know if it's because she had a problem with him. I don't know if it's because she had some kind of...
I don't know how this was an update. We know most of this, but just in case if anybody comes in, we're just getting to recap. These were my two main topics. Besides, we had the carjacking, and we had the 5-year-old little girl. And then I was going to talk about that third one, but that's not a law and crime article. So if you guys want me to, I will actually search for articles and facts. I won't go to Annalise. Okay? So if you guys want me to go over that tomorrow, I'll come to you with it. But I have to do some research myself because I don't want to go on stuff that we know isn't true. And I do know, yes, Court TV has made a couple boops and, but everybody makes mistakes. But if I've heard several things that you can't really support her, and I don't like to, speculate and go over. I want the facts and I want it to be the truth. That's why it says truth seeker. Because I want the truth out of the whole. I want the motive. I want the whys. What is it? It goes what? The whys, the whos. I forget, but everybody knows that.
Misogynistic tendencies.
I forget the rest of
little
it.
girl.
Who's
But
whys.
as the grandparents noted, she had
all of
really
it.
just didn't want this particular child and targeted this particular child from the beginning. And we do see that sometimes where one child is singled out for special, especially bad. It's really a psychological issue as much as anything else.
Mm-hmm. Tom, appreciate it.
I do believe some cases don't always have a motive. Or they do, but they just don't. The person that does the crime doesn't give us the motive. Sometimes these detectives can find the motives to this quick, but what if her motive is, like they're stating, drugs? This drugs couldn't have been the whole thing.
Everyone the charge is. So we've got Tony McClure and Ryan Smith. We've got McClure charged with murder, criminal confinement, battery on a person under the age of 14. Boyfriend charged with 3 child neglect offenses, 1 count of criminal confinement. Joe and Daryl, I want to tap into your experience as criminal defense attorneys and talk what possible defense strategies may we have here. And I'd like to assign each of you one of the defendants. So let's start with Mom. Okay, Mom, allegedly the worst actor here. Daryl, let me go to you on her. How might you defend this if you're tasked with representing her?
That's a case I would not take. But if I did take it, if I was forced by the court or asked by the court, the first thing I would do is have a psychological evaluation, both by a psychiatrist and a psychologist, and she has mental problems. I would also show that in spite of the fact that there had been continuing abuse, that had the Department of Services, the child welfare people, had they done their job, the mom would have been prosecuted not for murder, but for a lesser crime. So what I try to do is bring it out because it's going to happen anyway, and then try to make it a little softer for Mom. But honestly, it's very difficult to represent someone, not what they're charged with, but what they have done. Not just the charges, but the acts.
No, certainly, Daryl. I know criminal defense work is a tough thing to do. And I always say, don't get mad at the attorneys. They are just standing up for the law and doing what the law requires. Joe, to you next, please. Let's talk boyfriend, Mr. Ryan Smith here. His charges, we're talking about, criminal confinement, child neglect offenses, not murder. How do you handle the boyfriend, Joe, if you're repping him?
You guys, sometimes I can't even watch TV. If I watch TV, it's either Ghost Adventures or something on the Travel Channel or Scooby-Doo. After doing so much true crime every day, you guys, I gotta be a kid. So if anybody sees my thing here and says Scooby-Doo, I don't want it. Scooby-Doo is, man, I'm a mystery solver with them. I'd be hanging with them.
You blame Ms. McKill.
I do
I mean, there's no
recognize
doubt about it.
that
She's the
I
mother. She's the one
watched
with the prior
other
record. You blame her. I mean, that's going to be part of my defense. If I represented him, that she was the main actor. He hardly knew what was going on. He assisted only in a very small role, and he's very sorry for that. And you try to get a lesser included.
Right. You know, I wonder if they may try to get him to. You wonder how much information they need. If they need him to flip on her, who knows? It seems pretty glaringly
I don't
obvious to
think
me
they
what's going on
need
with that
any
poor child. How DCS
information.
didn't
I
see it
think
is,
they
is
got it.
unfathomable. We'll continue following this case very closely.
All
May
right.
little Kinsley Welty rest in peace.
Do you guys think there should be any plea deals? Do you think that that guy's going to snitch on her? They don't need him to. So why would they even think about a plea deal? They got so much evidence. It's unthinkable. I love Scooby-Doo Stardust. Hi. Who, why, when, where, how. Thank you, Miss Ninja. I couldn't get it all out. Oh, you're very welcome, Ryan. Anytime. I'm sorry your ex-girlfriend's giving you such a hard time. There's just so much, you know. I can't believe that, but I do want to look into that. No, I can't have kids, but I do go through some depression sometimes. So it's post-traumatic depression. That's what she had, right? Did I say it right? Postpartum. That's for like after you have a baby, right? After you have a baby, sometimes moms go into that phase. I could not. I don't think I could. I don't know. I don't know too much about postpartum. I can't even frickin' say it. But maybe if I can research tonight in my book, because I'd rather take my notebook down, because I've been typing things out on Microsoft and doing but I actually can't really do what I want on Microsoft. Like, I can't get it to pull up to where you guys see it. So I don't understand how I would be able to get it for me to be able to share my screen unless I did. Yeah, see, it won't let me. So Microsoft Word is kind of like, why even try to type and save documents if I can't present them on my to you guys? If anybody knows how to do that, let me know. Do I have to hit share the whole entire screen, click on documents, because I type out my notes about the case usually in my notebook. If it's a kid, I go in the kids book, and if it's an adult crime, I go in the adult crime book. I'm probably the only other YouTuber that has crime books. Have you guys ever seen them? Some of the new people here haven't seen my books, my crime books. So let me. My hair's a mess. I have this wonderful old school desk though, and okay, so I take. When I do cases, I gotta put a little bit of me in there because I like my therapy book, my journal I'm supposed to write in that I've been failing to write in. But I'm using a notebook. I'm kind of my inspiration is Paper Cut Tina. Okay, she always was good at notes. Very, very detailed. That's how I am. So this one is the adult, and these are all the crimes and the horrible and horrific things that people do to each other. That this is adults. I don't really have any babies in this one. I try to keep them separate so that way it's not all in one book. The kids have, I'm giving their voice, I'm telling their story. So I kind of want to be able to tell it with. And then, of course, I do usually write in colored ink, which I can write in colored ink on Microsoft. My whole fracking issue 'Cause I probably could come up with stickers to download or something like that, but it's just it's not true by writing it out. So tonight I'll take down. This is an adult crime, I do believe. Hello, everybody coming in. So this is my adult one. This book says "Move Over, Boys." It's Wonder Woman, Batman. These were the women up here, in Toledo that robbed. So I do write. I do have stickers. I kind of just make it. I'm writing so. These crimes are just so horrific. I gotta write it out. My next. This one has a lot. There's been so many babies. There's so many babies in this one. I'm so just disgusted with the moms, especially in Cleveland, Ohio. There was 3. There might have been 4. There might have been 4 cases. Grizzly True Crime would be a good one, wouldn't it be? She would be good, but I don't know if she does. She does all kinds of stuff. Grizzly True Crime, I kind of really like her. I used to watch her way back in the day, but maybe she would get into that Indiana one. That one from Court TV is just on my mind. Like, I kind of want to dig into the parents, but this is the kid one, which I'm kind of running out of notebook space because there's just so many babies that have been hurt. I had to clip it at the top because there's too many. A lot of them have owl stickers, but they have tabs, which are little dogs, and some have sunflowers, and some have kitty cats, and some have rainbows. Like, just certain stuff that I could put for, like, the baby, especially if it was a boy or a girl. I try to put the right sticker with it, the right Stardust. This is absolutely, I don't know how either, babes. I really don't. So I hope nobody judges me for my notebook. But that's how I keep my true notes. That's how I go over all my cases. This is the next book I have to write in. I'm so excited about this one because it's got owls, and I love owls. This I found at Kroger's a couple months back, but I love this notebook. And I could do the tabs and stickers, and I could even put, like, the dates at the top on this one at the beginning instead of throughout the page. I usually put the dates and when the times that happen. The Cleveland cases I really wanted to follow because it's so close. Like, I can't believe Ohio alone has so many babies that are unalived, and it's just like, and I don't know what postpartum depression is, but I couldn't imagine. Oh my gosh, this desk is gonna give me problems. I mean, I keep everything in this, dude. I have so much. I feel like I am advanced Pepper Cutina, you guys. Pepper Cutina, see what you started? I blame her. Because I used to watch her on, look at this. I used to watch her on Dolly, and she always had her damn notes, and I'm like, man, I really want to start doing true crime. I mean, I have a whole bin here of pens. I have this whole little tray. I try to be, I don't know how to explain it because I've watched so many YouTubers destroy. And then I think about the victims too, like the families that might come across me, like, oh, they're going to say, oh, well, she's got notes, she's got paper, she's got facts, she's got the articles, she's got our statements. That's what I want, and I pay attention to that. And I don't want some family member to be like, we've seen what they've done to poor Mike. We've seen it. That fits better like that, maybe. I don't want the booksaw. I gotta rearrange this because my desk is only so big. I was thinking of getting a similar degree. Jules posted her degree online, except her name. I'm just trying to avoid lousy schools. Okay, well, I started out with Everest. Okay, first I started out with this community colleges, and I couldn't do really well in going to college, like going to school with a bunch of kids and stuff. I tried it. I tried doing one of my favorite classes was ASL. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but I did. Man, that class was fracking hard. And that was like in my 20s, I want to say. And then I did better at online than I did physically, going to the colleges, getting up every day, going to the park, shit like that. I didn't do really good at that. However, I did Everest University. I did 4 years, did online college for 4 years. I'm actually about to go down to my mom's in like a couple weeks here, and I'm gonna have my fiance get in my attic, and I'm gonna grab some of my books, my college books, especially my English and writing one, and my composition book, and because composition 1 and composition 2, there was a course in there about people's tones, and this one YouTuber out here thinks that sometimes her tone isn't scary and aggressive, and I just want to show up a few things out of that book. But yeah, so I did Everest University, 4 years, graduated in 2014 because I went for 4 years. I started in 2010 when I moved back from a bad situation. Now, my brother did Phoenix, Arizona, but Everest went bankrupt, and so I don't know if Everest University is still around. I don't think my degree is fake, but I did get some of my loans forgiven, so I don't really know what happened with that, but there was one big, huge scandal with Everest University. So, I mean, I might have put in all that work for nothing, but at least I know that I was passing certain courses. There was one course I could not pass. I took it twice. I was practicing. I was going to take it again because I was 2 classes away from getting my bachelor's. And then I had to drop out because my dad got real ill, and I was working so much that I couldn't keep up with working, going and seeing my, being my, with my dad. I was working 3rd shift, going to college, working the hotels in the summer. In the wintertime, I didn't work because it was a tourist town where I live. And so my hotels up there shut down. There's only a couple that stay open, but they have different management. Not everybody gets to transfer over and work at a winter one. I was framed 2 times working at that one, so I will never work at that one again. And my boss, the owner, found out about it and finally did something because he was shocked that the customer came back. And that's because my dad's love affairs. So sometimes what parents do to their kids, so what parents do can sometimes affect their kids' lives, like future lives. Like happened to me, happened to my brother. My dad was he made some not so happy women who really decided to mess up my brother and I, both of our. I couldn't believe that Wanda. I'll never forget Wanda from that hotel. But anywho, that's how we got on that. Dolly brought us a lot of us together. Yes, he did. He did. And that's one reason why I'm thankful for Dolly Vision is because I got to meet a lot of the girls, like, I started him. I think I got following him when he was just getting out of Jimmy Jams. He had just switched over to Dolly Vision. And Paper Cut Tina was one of his big co-hosts. And she always had that stack of notebook up there. She did. And she always had her notebook. She would be like, Jimmy, can I say this? Can I say this? And, and she was true to her true crime. And she always had the older cases. And nobody really liked people doing the older cases. It was what was in the headlines, Like Tina liked to do cold cases. Tina likes to do cold cases or cases that are older due to the fact that everybody's talking about the headline ones, which is still good. She could still also talk about the ones that are all in the news too, because they need just as, everybody needs a lot. But I'm really grateful for Tina for doing the ones that are either cold cases or that are, older. Tina's very good at those. I love Tina when she does those. Stardust, have you been back there? She said that, oh yeah, I did tell you you were. She had some, now, thank God, the lucky stars. I have not had a rogue, plus I have good people in here. I haven't had any bad mods. I hope my mistake was not to mod Rapper. He hasn't done anything bad. He's been good to me in other chats. When he starts getting serious and being really hateful, that's when I start screaming and yelling at him. If he ever does that in my chat, you only get one try, buddy. But I think he's got so much going on in his life that I think that's why he does it, for attention maybe. And I think that he could be going through some shit and he doesn't have nobody, or he has somebody but they don't really get it. Like sometimes you could have somebody that you could talk to and tell everything to, but they just don't get it, They come up with some kind of, they just don't get it. I've had a lot of friends that I confided into. They just didn't get it, I'm like my one friend, she's like, I've never really been bullied. I'm like, yeah, because you got, the greatest bod, the bright blue eyes, the blonde hair. Like, of course not. But you call yourself fat and you're skinny, and that's what makes it mad. When people call themselves fat and they're really not fat, that's one of my big pet peeves is she was so fun on that show. I think she brought a lot of fun to that show, and she had fun, and I'm glad, because at the time she just enjoyed being a co-host, At the time she really wasn't wanting her channel, but people kept pushing for her to have a channel, and I'm so glad she did. And I'm sad because she got hurt in the process. A lot of people got hurt in that situation. I know I stuck up for her in a lot of things, and there's a lot of things that I didn't agree with, and I love her no matter what. And then the whole, Rose thing really broke my heart too, because I really cared about Rose. But then, the A person kept going around traveling to find, T, and I had to say something to that lady because it was enough was enough. Every time I looked around, A was following. And my mama raised me better to say something. And I know my hubby always tells me don't say that because you put yourself in the fire of, But then they got serious and started talking about families. Like, I wish YouTubers, if you have fights and you're beefing with somebody, don't bring up their families. Why you gotta be like that? beef on the internet, don't go real life from the internet. Like a lot of people, YouTubers do it, and I just see so much on here. A lot with cases, a lot of misinformation nowadays. Ever since Tina left Dolly, all he's got is misinformation over there and rumors and speculation. A lot of these channels like to speculate, spread rumors, spread misinformation. Woo, Mitter. Then they start digging, into the people's families and stuff. Like, I understand certain cases require, look at this. Hi. Hi. Oh, I love you too. But you can't, I don't have no room for you over here. I have makeup brushes that I need to wash tonight. That's going to take me 2 hours to wash all that. At least 2 hours to wash all that. This is what he did to me earlier, so that's why I had to hold the computer like this. Hey, look at them? No? Say hi. Say hi, everybody. Say hi. Watch him chase the mouse now. Watch. Watch him do this. Midnight. Midnight, look. Look. Midnight. Look. Watch it. Watch that. Look. Watch the mouse. Midnight. He usually will chase my computer mouse. You're dusty. You were outside, weren't you? Okay, can I have my show back? Guess I'll hold it. This cat, I swear. So yeah, I'm sorry about all this. Oh, you love my cat. Yeah, this is Midnight. He's been with me since we moved in here. I've had him since he was a baby. Yes. I've had you since he was a baby. He loves to give Eskimo kisses. And he loves the side of his face scratched. Huh. He's old though. Yes, you are. Him's an old guy. He does not like the dog though. He hates the dog. Scooby-Doo's up there. My Scooby-Doo stuff. That's all my nail stuff right here. Eventually when my mom comes up, she's gonna help me rearrange this. Get some stuff together. I love my Scooby-Doo stuff, but he hates the dog. And the dog is always trying to bring him his toys. I found out now I have to be super careful, guys. I cannot believe this. I did not know having Scoob got sick yesterday. And I didn't know what it was. My husband said he knew what it was. So when my husband cleaned it up, he said that somehow I had bought Scooby this toy from a store called Everything from Pets, and it was I think it was an ape, or it was a sleuth. It was one of those. It was a sloth. It was a sloth, and it was named Sasha the sloth. I had got him that. It had some squeaky stuff in it. It had a lot of stuffing in it. But Scooby-Doo had just his arm left of that toy. And we was letting him play with it, thinking that, because it was still all, like, it was kind of, like, I don't know, it was sewed up, right? Dude eats it and barfs it up. Thank God, because I was like, oh my God, we would have had to take it to the vet and have them surgically take that out. So he pretty much hydroplaned it. And I said, from now on, he's getting like the Kong toys, like more tight, like rope firm ones. Like they have a couple different brands. Because he's not getting no more stuffing toys. No more. That was scary because he did, puke it up, and I was like, oh my God, he's sick. And so, so tonight, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take my computer down first, and then I'll come back up and take down my, or maybe I'll come up after the laptop charges. I'd have probably more space downstairs to write out. I'll just take some of my stickers down there. And I didn't realize we were on for almost, this is like the longest video I ever did. And you guys all stuck by me for these cases. Sorry for the third one. Maybe I can go back and edit it. It does says crime on children and carjacking updates. Now I know though, it does work. You guys do see it. The articles. Shout out to every single one. We had News Nation, not News Nation today, but we had a lot of articles from Orlando. That mother though, I'm gonna follow that Court TV one from Indiana. And when I get done from here, I'm gonna take my little kid book down because she's 5 years old. So she's going to go in that book and she's going to get some pretty stickers. And then we're going to dig into her, maybe I could find some court records. If anybody's from Indiana that can maybe pull up some records and send them to me. If I got any, buddies out here, hint, hint to my girls. If you girls come across anything, don't take that much time. If you want to help me, if you don't, I'm going to try to pull up what I can. But when it comes to the court documents, I forget how to do all that. Now on my tablet, I have like Cleveland stuff saved, like courts and Cuyahoga, and I can get in certain documents and stuff like that in FOIAs. But this case is from Indiana. I don't know exactly where at in Indiana. I just know I want to follow that case really bad. And I cannot believe that that mother had all those opportunities. I can't believe it. So, I mean, and then if you guys it's Sunday, so I don't know who all is going live. Every time Tina goes live, it's usually right before I get ready to go to bed. She goes too late for me. I'm in bed by, staying up till 1:30 in the morning is too late for me, guys. I don't like staying up till 1:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock, because then I sleep until 11:30 noon, and then I don't get anything done. And then here we are, right before I should be downstairs getting ready to be cooking right now, but now I gotta prep and make sure dinner is thawed, and I'm going to end up cooking late, doing dishes late now, and I'm sorry to keep you guys so late. We don't ever do, we're usually done by dinner time. That's usually my day. And then I usually go downstairs, and then usually at 8 o'clock at night, I'm watching my TV shows and chilling with my husband and my doggy and my cat, who's an asshole, So, I mean, yeah, I get into some channels, but they're always beefing or talking about this mean person or this mean person. This person want real life, and this person did this person wrong and doxed him. And then you got this person talking shit about that person so hardcore, talking about A and talking about Rho, and they become friends. It's like, what? People beefing every day. Where's the true crime at? Why are we not focusing on kids and adults? But here we are. We got all these grown folks out here fighting when we could be talking more about the children, the HT that's going around. How about the bad drugs that's happening? The crimes that leading behind drugs? Like this carjacking case we found out that the husband and brother had been cooperating, but they also were able to help find the cops or help the cops find one of the suspects. So, and if I could find that recent clip that I know Ash sent me, because I keep pulling up one that's older, so maybe I got it. I'll figure that out. Maybe I could find some more true crime drama. It did Stardust. Yesterday was late. I know I was late today too, though. I was late today too, Stardust. I'm mad at myself. I've been going earlier, but if I stay up too late at night, I sleep too long, and I'm back I'm on the couch sleeping, and I'm hitting my phone, which is behind me, pressing the snooze button, because I have alarm clock set from 8:30 to 9, and I have it on my sleep schedule thing for my clock. It says I go to bed every night at 11:30 at night. I get 8 hours of sleep and wake up around 8:30. Or I go to bed at 11:40 at night and I get 8 hours of sleep, which means I wake up at 8:30. And I'm used to that pattern, especially when I worked at the coffee shop. I loved getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, going to serve Tim Hortons people coffee, And folks want their coffee in the morning. They want a good Briesta too. They don't want, but the lady that I worked with was just every couple days I had to work with that lady, and I was abused and tortured, and I couldn't do it. After the one people left at 4 o'clock, I'm stuck with her till 7 by myself, and you wouldn't believe the things that lady said to me. I wish I was smart then, and I wish I would have videotaped it. So, yes, I slept too because I stayed up too late last night. You did too, Stardust. See, I'm not the only one. When I stay up too late, I want to sleep until like whatever time. But okay, so we have our task. If any of my girls out there would love to find anything from Indiana on the I hate pronouncing her name wrong. It tears me up. I'm glad everybody came. I'm glad now that I have learned how to do background and banners, so I can always switch. Like, I'm hoping Miss Maggie, if she'll help me make some good ones for kids. I need some kid ones, but I need my logo, Truth Seeker, or crime one. So Maggie, if you watch this, if you don't mind, I need some backgrounds because I have adult ones. These ones right here that I have out, those are more like, what do I have? That one? Oh, some backgrounds. Oh, hold on. Like I can switch it to that. So I do need some kid ones because all I have is this one. And then I can do, we can do this one. So I have this background I can do. There's one of them, the Truth Seeker. But I do really need a kid one. I need a kid one with my logo, maybe true crime one. Because these ones, I mean, I do like this because it reminds you guys, this is who you're watching. This is me. And we just try to have a good time here. We try to keep a peaceful chat. We're safe. My chat is safe because I do have SA victims and I have DV survivors in here, and they come and tell their stories sometimes. So I keep it very peaceful, very chat safely. I have some of the best mods, and I'm not out here always sharing my links. If you look in my chat, you see me posting disclaimers. You see me posting maybe once or twice. I'll put my link out there. but I'll post somebody else's link. So people can't say, hey, I'm, tragedy, and because you do see that a lot, but I try to make good, keep a good thumbnail that doesn't, not too graphic, that YouTube won't like it, I think a lot of YouTubers need to be like me, go over more facts and truth and not lies and misinformation. I haven't seen that last. Yes, Tina always eventually gets. I don't know how it is. I think she was just modding people up just to get them to come back. And she was getting all the ones that were from, Kentucky's, you know. And so the girls that I have modded, I've either met from a local channel that I don't usually, they know. I mean, some know about this channel. I go there a lot when she's live, but I found really good, genuine people. Ash is a very good friend. Spitfire is a really good friend. I'm so glad those two girls have, stuck up, know what I stuck up for, why I said, they know me, they know who I am, they know I have a beautiful soul. I try to do good by these, kids that are missing and have a story. Orchard Ninja, she's a very good person. I'm glad I met that person as well. She, she's a sweetheart. It's just, there's my thing. If we ever get emojis, we're gonna have members ones. I want this one right here to be a member one. My avatar, you guys see my avatar? I want that to be like one of those extra things that you get. If I don't get monetized, I just want to get the little emojis. Max Smith, I know you're a new person too, and I like having you here, but sometimes we need to stay on topic, and my mods like to keep me on topic. So if you could, I like to be on top. So my mods try to keep me going here. I get off topic a lot. And I'm sorry I gotta pause a lot, but I just don't want to get in trouble. So that's why I do pause a lot through the videos. But I hope everybody enjoys their Sunday evening. I'm going to go get prep for dinner, charge my laptop, and I'm going to grab my notebook and a good couple pens I like to write with and a sticky note. You see, all my office supply stuff is up here. So maybe I could just write, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know where I'm going to do my stationery stuff at. I love you all. Please be kind to one another. Thank you all for supporting me and what I stand for. And I will see you on these streets. Bye.